Welcome to Breakthrough Mode, the podcast where we intentionally get into the driver's seat of our lives, shift out of monotony and mediocrity, and step on the gas towards becoming the person we were always meant to become. Hello and welcome to Monday Morning with Megan on the Breakthrough Mode podcast. I am your host, Megan Bauer. Thank you so much for joining me and pushing play on today's episode. This week, we are focused on the power of our decisions. Now, we tend to put a lot of weight and focus on the big decisions in our lives, the ones about our careers, the ones about where we should live or who we should marry or having kids or having more kids or starting the business or whatever. There are these big decisions in life that we tend to focus on. And those big decisions are important. There are a lot of implications. There are a lot of both good and bad consequences that can come from those decisions. And while we are busy, hyper-focused on these big decisions, we tend to forget about the power of the small decisions that we encounter and make on a daily basis. The thing is that most of our lives are shaped by these smaller decisions. And these smaller decisions impact how we face and what we choose to do when we come to the bigger decisions. These are the smaller decisions like, what will I believe about myself today, about what I'm capable of, about what I can do, about my future, about my abilities? These are the small decisions like, where should my time, my energy, and my attention go? What should I focus on? What matters most? The decision of what should I carry forward from the past? What past events, past emotions, past mistakes am I going to let impact me today? These decisions we are making constantly and continually all day long. And they impact what we do, how we meet our day, how we interact with others. They impact what we believe about the future. And what we believe about the future impacts our actions that we take today. It directs our lives. And we hardly give these decisions much thought. We are always deciding. We're deciding all of those small decisions, and we're deciding when we're not deciding. We're deciding when we are procrastinating. We are deciding when we are avoiding. We are deciding when we are waiting. We are always making some sort of decision. It just might not be conscious or intentional. We decide by default all of the time. That is exactly what a habit is. It's a decision that you make on repeat without even thinking about it. We are constantly deciding and not recognizing or acknowledging the decisions that we make and the direction that they determine. So the truth is that one decision isn't going to change your life. But one decision made on repeat creates a pattern. And this pattern can create a habit. And a habit shapes your identity. And your identity influences what you create in this life. So even though one decision may not matter very much, it definitely has the power to matter a whole lot. This is so easily comparable to a health journey, like eating well or eating poorly. If you eat well, 99% of the time, one cupcake isn't going to derail you. You will still be on the same trajectory that you were on. And if you eat poorly, 99% of the time, one salad isn't going to put you back on track. It's about the repeated decisions, especially those decisions that happen at the level of habit. So we could argue that one little decision won't make a very big difference. We could say that a little decision like getting up early one morning won't change the trajectory. And you're right. In isolation, it probably won't. And I would tell you that that decision to get up early that one day in June or July of 2024 or whatever it was, that first morning changed the next years. From then till now, that one decision impacted the last couple of years of my life. So, which way is it? Does one little decision about what you're capable of and what you can do matter, or does it not? Does one little decision to get up early, to eat healthy, to believe in yourself, to try the thing that's on your heart matter, or does it not? Honestly, that's up to you, because if you continue to make that same decision over and over again, where it becomes a pattern and then a habit and then an identity and then a way of life, then absolutely that one decision matters a lot. The problem is that when we choose to make a change for the better, to improve our lives in some way, to eat healthier, to get up earlier, to believe in ourselves, to go after our dreams, to become who it is we are meant to become, so often those decisions happen in isolation. We wake up one morning, we're feeling great, so we decide we're going to go for it. And we wake up the next morning, we're not feeling so great, and so we give up. That's when it doesn't add up to anything, because your decision isn't a constant. You don't allow the decision to hold. It's a waffly decision. It's a this day I decide yes and this day I decide no, and that doesn't actually work out. Not to your benefit, because you will always fall back to defaults. You will always fall back to old habits, old ways of being, because they're familiar, because we know how to do it, because it doesn't require as much energy. This week, I encourage you to look at your decisions, specifically the decisions that you make in the morning, these decisions that subtly determine the direction of your day. Take a look at your first decision of the morning, whatever that looks like in your life. You don't need to change anything. I'm just inviting you to observe. First thing in the morning, is your very first decision to hit snooze? Is your very first decision to join me and get on your bike? Is your very first decision to check your email, to check social media, to check your calendar, to think about your to-do list for the day? Are you conscious about your very first decision? Or is your very first decision something that you do out of default, something that you do out of habit, something that maybe you do to avoid engaging with your day? What is your first decision? And just look at that. And if you want to take it a step farther, do you want that to be your first decision of the day? If you wake up in the morning and hit snooze, is that what you actually want? Is that how you want to start your day? By avoiding it, by pushing it away, by scrambling for that extra 9 minutes of sleep? Is that what you want? If it is, that's fine. I'm not judging. I don't care either way. Of course, the idea is always to make intentional choices, intentional decisions, and as we do so, to make intentional decisions in the direction of who it is you want to become. So, if there's some incongruence there between what it is that you want, who it is you want to become, the life that you want to experience, and your first decision of the day, consider making a different decision. This week, we are focused on decisions. And of course, I am going to leave you with a quote. This quote is by Tony Robbins. He said, "Using the power of decision gives you the capacity to get past any excuse, to change any and every part of your life in an instant. Now, real quick, that seems like a tall order, but I want to remind you, I changed a huge part of my life in an instant. That one morning, I decided to believe in myself and get up early and try the morning ritual again. After 10 years of failing, I decided to give it one more shot. And in that instant, I changed the trajectory. But that was a firm, powerful decision. That was a no take backsies decision. And most of the time, we make decisions that have a take backsies clause in them. I'm only going to do this until it gets hard, until I get tired, until I don't feel like it, until whatever. And then I'm going to do something different. The power is in making a true come hell or high water decision that is what you're going to do instead. And you are totally capable of this. And I know this because your first decision of the day is probably a habit. And you've been doing that over and over and over and over and over again. So you are capable of doing something else over and over and over again. Now, notice here that Tony Robbins doesn't say that the decision will change any or every part of your life in an instant. He said that the power of decision gives you the capacity. This gives you the capacity, the ability. This makes it so that you can. That's what we're focused on this week, the power of decision. I'm so excited about this. This is one of those topics that I truly just love. Thank you so much for joining me. I totally love you. Bye for now.